Hi, Greg here from the Marietta Innovation Center Lab. This is an Internet of Things project. This is called the iSave Water project. It's basically a Raspberry Pi controlled irrigation system. And basically what you're looking at here with this tub full of blue water is a demonstrator. So it's got a pump coming through a valve, a flow meter, a pump's coming through up to the flow meter and then going to the sprinkler valve. And so we can control the valve and measure the flow using the Raspberry Pi. Here's the Raspberry Pi that we're using. This is a Pi 3. It's running Microsoft Windows 10 IoT. It's also connected to a breadboard here, where there's a switch to simulate the overcurrent situation with a valve, a shorted valve. There is a set of relays that we are using. One controls the pump, one controls the sprinkler valve. And then we also have flow meter data coming from the flow meter here back up to the Raspberry Pi. And what you're seeing here, code that's running on the controller on the Raspberry Pi. This is Visual Studio, and the Raspberry Pi is sending these messages, these JSON messages, up to Azure Cloud Service. We have the Azure Device Explorer here. So what we're going to do is we're going to send a message to turn the sprinkler valve on for 60 seconds. And we do that right here. So this is a JSON message that we just sent. You can see that the controller has picked up the message and it's turned on the valve. So now the valve and the pump is running and the valve is turned on. And we should be measuring flow. Let's come back here, and sure enough you can see we're measuring flow, about 3.5 liters per minute. Okay, so you can see when it first started, we've got a little bug in our code. It generated an alert as the flow was coming up, but now it's looking like it's normal flow. So one thing, I'm going to press the button here for the overcurrent sensor, and so you can see that if you have a shorted valve, the system will detect that and send a message up to Azure. From there, Azure can send a push notification to your phone. Okay, and so our 60 seconds is up. So let's run this one more time. So we'll send the message from Azure. The controller on the Raspberry Pi picks it up, turns on the relays, and the water starts flowing. Now, if you were to have a leaking valve, the flow would go way up like this. So I've adjusted it to make it look like there is a bad sprinkler, a leaking sprinkler head. And sure enough, so now we're getting alerts that says that we have a leak somewhere. And it knows that it's on that one zone, so whatever's attached to that valve, it's somewhere in there. If for some reason you have a valve that fails, or you have some sort of blockage in the pipe, you can detect that as well. And so you can see now it's sending alerts that's saying that there's a blockage or a bad valve that's just not working, maybe a broken wire or something. And then when the system goes back to normal, eventually it will adjust. Well, our 60 seconds expired. And so there you have it. This is our iSave Water project at the Marietta Innovation Center in Marietta, California. And this was first prize winner of a Microsoft IoT hackathon.